News Talk. Kevin Magnanti from East Rome Landscaping is live in studio to answer your questions about landscaping. 793 WKTV, you ready to go?
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's see what we got out there. Go right ahead. What's your question for Kevin this noon?
I have a lot of problem with sumac bushes, and I was wondering if you could tell me some way to get rid of them. I cut them down, but they keep coming back.
Oh, no problem. I got the answer for you there. All right, with the sumac, it's a very aggressive growing plant. What you have to do is cut them down like you just did. The only way a herbicide will work on the sumac is if you cut them down and let them flush new growth. On a 70-degree day or warmer, you're going to spray that new fresh sumac with a herbicide. It will suck it in and kill the plant to the root. You can't kill them when they're woody. You have to flush them, cut them down and let them reflush again. But it works every time I've done it. It's a stubborn plant, but you can get rid of it.
All right, thanks for that call. 793 WKTV. We've got another call. Go right ahead. What's your question for Kevin this noon?
Hi, it's about calla lilies. How do you get them to flower again?
Calla lilies, you really can't help them flower, unfortunately. You can try a little triple phosphate fertilizer, but they're a one bloom, one type of deal once a year, unfortunately.
All right, thanks for that call. 793 WKTV. Got a lot of calls today. Go ahead. What's your question for Kevin?
Hi. I have a viburnum bush in my yard. It's probably between 5 and 10 years old, and it always buds out and blossoms beautiful. Those beautiful little white round flowers. This year, I noticed when it first started budding out, the whole bottom half of all the branches, the leaves were gone, the flower buds, and what did bud out at the top all turned brown. Do you think that was frost, or is it dying, or?
Well, actually, we had a lot of issues this spring with that warm spell that we had. Everything budded and flushed, and then we had that hard frost that did a lot of damage to plants. And this is about the 20th conversation I've had about that so far this year. You're just going to have to wait it out and see what the following year brings. It was pretty devastating. Everybody was excited about the warm spring, but as a horticulturist, we're not so happy about it.
All right, thanks for that call. 793 WKTV, go ahead. What's your question this noon? Hello, what's your question?
Yes. My question is, I have a tree, and I wonder if you can put hostas around it.
What kind of tree is it?
A pear tree.
Yeah, that should be fine. A lot of times you can't plant under a tree due to the lack of light and lack of water, but a pear tree is pretty open, and the water and sun should be able to penetrate the area, so you shouldn't have a problem there.
All right, thanks for that call. We have more calls. Go right ahead. What's your question for Kevin this noon?
Yes, I have hydrangea plants, and they don't seem to bloom all the time. I wondered if there's anything I could do to make them bloom. They didn't bloom at all last year, and every year there's these big sticks sticking up from them. I wonder if I should remove them.
Did you trim them last year?
Should I have removed the sticks when I trim?
No, well, what the situation is a lot of hydrangeas flower on new and old wood. So we really recommend you leave them alone. Don't trim them because that can screw up the reproduction process until the following spring, like right now. You're going to want to remove those dead canes now if there's no viable growth on them. And also, I strongly suggest some triple phosphate fertilizer, which will increase your blooms, increase your flowering power on those hydrangeas.
All right, we've got time for another call. Go right ahead. What's your question this noon?
My question is, we recently had a large barn taken down which had a hedgerow behind it. We had dumped a lot of leaves, and there's a lot of mulch and stuff in there, and we'd like to reclaim that into lawn area. Should I leave that mulch there, or should I take it out and reseed it with grass seed and some straw and such?
Well, as long as it's all organic waste back there and nothing chemical and nothing too woody, that would be a fine base, but I definitely strongly recommend mixing it in with some good fresh topsoil. Till it all together, roll it out, put your grass seed down, and put some straw on it and let your lawn get going that way. But it's definitely an option for you.
All right, we want to thank everyone for those calls. I knew they'd be rapid fire today because we have everyone's ready to plant and do everything.
I don't mind at all, Jay. I don't mind at all.
And I know you got to get back out there and get back to work. Good to see you, my friend.
Thank you, Jason.
Enjoy.
Appreciate
We'll
it.
see you in a couple of
Thank you
weeks.
very much.
Coming up next.